Hey everybody, welcome back to the crossover. I'm Tanner Wilson. With me as always, Hasten Wilson, my buddy John Ryan. This is weird. We're doing it on Facebook Live and on Periscope. So it's kind of like with the Dan Levitard show.
It's almost Levitard style.
Yeah, we called it Levitard style. We waffled between doing it where like we were all facing each other, like a first take, and we decided on the Levitard style where we're all looking at the camera and talking. So
I guess this makes me Bomani Jones.
I guess it does.
That
And
could be
Hastings
worse.
Poppy.
I'm fine with that.
That's all right. We have a pretty, well, we hope a good show for you. It's got potential to be our best show yet just because so much happened this week. We're doing it on Facebook Live. I already mentioned that. This was a fun week in the world of sports, and we're rocking some jerseys. John, what you got?
I got a Josie Altidore USA Men's National Soccer jersey in honor of the World Cup and 4th of July because go soccer
Go
in
America.
the U.S.
We decided to try to go for patriotic jerseys, so I went for my Walmart Royals American flag jersey that cost me like $20. And Hasten, what you got on?
I have my CP3 New Orleans jersey from way back in the day, pre-Lob City.
Pre-Lob City. That is
Who
way
are
back
you
in the
wearing?
day. Who are you wearing? Yeah, mine doesn't have a number. It's just a generic Royals jersey. Before we get started, and we got a lot to talk about, some trivia for you. So as we all know, the Nathan's Hot Dog Show was this week. Katie's bothering us in the background.
She's trying to be as loud as she can right next to the microphone.
You're doing it in the kitchen.
We're doing
Anyway.
it in the studio. You're getting ice in the studio.
That's right.
This is spiraling
Anyway.
already. So this week was a Nathan's hot dog eating contest, big event in the world of sports. Joey Chestnut, he's a man on a mission every single year. He just broke his hot dog
Joey
eating
Jaws.
record for the 6th time. He broke his own record for the 6th time. Actually broke the record for the
Okay.
6th time. It was his own record 5 times. He ate, was it 76 hot
I
dogs?
think 74, but
Yeah, 70,
The
74.
official record was 74. They gave him 64 because they miscounted. Have you heard about that? That's a
Yeah,
whole
I saw
storyline in
that.
itself. They're going to have to go to electric
why don't they
counting.
have just time? Like, why can't they just go to the video? Like, why can't they just watch it? Because it's all on ESPN.
Because why would you want to watch that again?
It's true.
It's pretty
gross.
It's pretty disgusting, really. Okay, so the question for you guys: before he broke the record the first time, what was the record? You got to go back.
it Kobayashi?
Like when
It's
Kobayashi was
Kobayashi.
doing it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Kobayashi's record. What was the
I'm
number?
gonna say it was like 48.
Hasten, what you got?
Yeah, I was going to say like 51 or something like that.
Hasten's closer. It was 53 3/4, which he broke his own record of 53 1/2
Okay, so he's just like, he was a very methodical
in
hot
his
dog
record
eater.
breaking. Yeah.
That's like going pole vault and beating it by 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah, just taking it up a 1/4 inch above the record. That's no fun at all.
Right.
Before we get going, Hasty, you want to hit us with the scripture of the day?
Yes, our scripture of the day, brought to you by the Richmond United Methodist Church. Open hearts, open minds, open doors, comes to us from Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2.
Hebrews.
Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and every sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. That was our scripture of the day, brought to you by the Richmond, Missouri United Methodist Church. Check out our youth group Wednesday nights during the school year at 6 p.m.
Bless
So
up.
you guys know we do not practice that. That is all from the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got it all memorized.
Got the whole Bible memorized. It's right up here.
All
I
right.
was meant the sponsorships, but whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sponsorships. Richmond. Oh, we've got a plate of bacon with us, too. So you can see, actually, it's a paper towel of bacon. But that's going to be some necessary fuel later on in the show. Guys, let's be honest. The only thing we're going to talk about this week is NBA free agency.
That's all that we ever need to talk
That's
about.
all we ever talk about, period.
I think the best way to go about this is just go by the order in which the storyline happened. And the 3 big ones, obviously being Paul George, LeBron, and then
Bless you.
and then Boogie,
Someone in our studio audience just sneezed.
and then Boogie going to the Golden State Warriors. Let's start with Paul George staying in OKC. What's your guys' take on that? I was surprised.
I was
personally.
really surprised when I saw Russell Westbrook was hosting a hype party.
I thought that was
I was
hilarious.
like, there's no way. Like, what's the point? And then a couple hours later, he was
At the hype party.
yeah, and staying there.
Dude, they were smoking cigars up on the stage together. You knew that he was staying. I personally was not surprised at all that Paul George stayed. I actually was going to be more surprised if he left, which I know is probably, everybody's going to say, oh, yeah, well, you just are saying hindsight or whatever.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
I
That's
follow
exactly what I
Paul
was gonna
George.
say.
I follow Paul George on
Oh my
Instagram, and he is a big-time fisherman, as am I. He's probably better than me.
That's what we're dealing with.
Everyone is better than me. And Paul George, because he likes fishing so much, I knew that the fishing around Oklahoma City and southern Missouri, Arkansas, that area, so much better than out in LA. There's no water out there. It's a drought
Yeah, only
all the time.
only an ocean.
Yeah, I mean,
He doesn't fish in the ocean. He fishes for bass. He's
But-
a bass
Oh, okay.
fisherman.
it's because he's in Oklahoma City. There aren't.
Yeah.
He was a bass fisherman before that, too.
All I'm saying is that literally had nothing to do with it.
It had more to do with it than you think.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe that. I talked to Paul. I know that it had a lot to do with it. He likes it there, and he always fishes on these Bassmaster tournaments, and he does pretty well. He can catch some slabs. So I wasn't surprised that he stayed there. It's
He
better
just called it a
fishing.
He
slab.
called it a slab. He thinks he knows fishing words. Anyway.
Yeah, jigs.
All right. You're getting the mute button for a little bit. Yeah, I was surprised that he's staying in OKC. The thing is,
in the end, it really doesn't mean
doesn't matter.
anything.
It
Like,
doesn't matter.
They'll be a 6 seed,
at all. And speaking
maybe
of
a 4 seed.
speaking of free agent signings, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. LeBron going to LA.
It'll be a fun second round of the playoffs when they're battling the Rockets for the 2-3 seed.
They're gonna have to play either the Rockets
Uh-huh.
or the Warriors to get to the final or
Yeah.
to the Western Conference
Right.
Finals. It's crazy. So LeBron signed, and then all these other guys signed, and now LeBron is playing for last year's Cleveland Cavaliers.
Rajon, I'm so pumped to see him and LeBron together.
I mean, it's like the only thing that would have made it better is if
Kobe came out of retirement.
or Carmelo would have signed with them. If Carmelo gets traded there, that would be perfect because it's just so many washed up guys playing together. It would have been.
I think
perfect.
Derrick Rose. I mean, he signed with Minnesota, but I wouldn't be surprised if he asked to get out of that.
Right, Derrick Rose would be a good addition to that team. Were you guys surprised that he went to LA? I honestly was. I mean, as much as they started talking about it, I
Right.
guess I'm not that surprised. But even up until a day or two before it happened, I thought there's no way he's going to go to LA.
I still thought there was a better chance he might go to Philadelphia. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I was still at. But
Yeah, it was interesting how all that played out. It was he got back from vacation. He met with the Lakers.
Which bacon did you bite off of?
The
Which
one I
did you
just
bite
bit off of.
The
I
middle
didn't
one?
bite off yet.
Okay, this one's mine.
Yeah,
then.
this is my bacon.
Okay.
He met with Los Angeles, and then, some people affiliated with him met with the Sixers, and then, 10 minutes after that meeting was announced, he signed with LA, so.
Right.
guys, can we stop? We're down to 1 viewer on Twitter, and we're up to 3. We were at 1 a second ago.
Yes. Good.
So your crossover nation is strong out there.
Crossover Nation, baby.
So with the LeBron thing,
Oh, we're down to
What?
2.
one left. With the LeBron, I started talking, so one hopped off. With the LeBron thing, I know that a lot of the analysts now are saying anybody who's close to the situation or whatever wasn't that surprised when LeBron wound up going to LA. I was still surprised because from a basketball standpoint, he had no perfect fit. Like, he had no team that you could go to that it's like, okay, they're close, but with LeBron, that puts them over the
Right.
hump.
Mhm.
There wasn't that situation out there. Even Philadelphia, who a lot of people thought he would have to play the same position kind of as Ben Simmons, and it just that isn't a natural fit there. Houston, they would have to get rid of all their shooting pretty much to be able to get him there. So they're just, like I said, wasn't a great basketball fit. So he just went to LA because it's what's best for his brand. And, LeBron's well, if I'm not going to win any more titles in Cleveland, which the writing's kind of on the wall that he wasn't going to, he might not even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals next year, I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to make a ton of money.
And yeah, you say better for his brand, and honestly, better for his son. You know, like I
Yeah.
buy that when LeBron says he thinks about his family and free agency. Like,
Yeah, his 13-year-old son missed a dunk in a
Yeah,
game
wow,
that he almost
washed
had the
up.
other day.
well, I mean,
yeah.
In LA, he won't do that.
right. I mean, think about
The elevation's
Yeah.
different. He'll-
you know the basketball academies in LA are
Yeah, he's gonna be
a
playing
little
with
bit
LaMelo and
better. He's terrible. That's another
LeBron, LaMelo, LiAngelo, LeBron Jr., and Lonzo. Man, what a starting five.
That's the dream. That is the dream.
and
in LA
LeVar
right there.
coaching.
But yeah, I think that's probably going to be better for them. Like I said, kind of surprises me, but honestly, it doesn't matter because Boogie signed with Golden State the next day,
Right.
which is just hilarious.
Right.
I'm interested to see what your guys' take is. I think I got a hot take on this, but I want to go last. You guys go first.
I was surprised
Oh,
just
yeah.
because I didn't.
You and everybody else.
I mean, I didn't think I follow and I'm very close with DeMarcus Cousins, and
As we all are.
as you are with Paul George,
George,
yes.
yeah.
But I did not think that he would go to a team where he would be such an afterthought. Not an afterthought, but an afterthought.
Oh yeah.
Like, I thought he kind of liked being in Sacramento where he was, the storyline, where he was in New Orleans where he was, the storyline, except for Anthony Davis. I thought he kind of liked being the storyline. So I didn't think he cared that much about winning a title, but evidently he cares enough to sacrifice $15 million.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a huge financial
Well, and really,
difference.
$200 million.
Right.
I mean,
if he signed a max deal somewhere.
well, and really, what it boils down to is that he wasn't going to get that max deal. I don't know. Hasten, what do you think about all this?
I don't think that coming off of that Achilles injury that he was going to have that max deal on the table. He could have gotten considerably more money. He could have gotten $15 million
Right.
easily anywhere, I think. But from his standpoint, I do kind of get it, because look at what happened with like a player like JaVale McGee, for instance. Like, he went there, he won a title with Golden State, he showed up like in the playoffs, and he just parlayed into a big deal for LA whenever he was a veteran minimum player here in the league here last year. I don't know. I texted you guys as soon as I saw that, and I said, this is a bigger deal than LeBron signing with the Lakers. Because, like, now all of a sudden, Golden State has 5 guys who are all-stars. Their starting
Oh my
5
gosh.
is all
It's
all-stars.
an all-star team.
It is. And it
And
doesn't
then they have Andre Iguodala coming off the bench.
That's the thing. Like, they've got 3 of their best players can get injured, and they're still probably the best team in the NBA. Any of them. So it's really just crazy. They're well coached. I don't know. They might as well not even play next
Right.
season. Honestly, I'm still gonna watch, but
And I'm still going to be amazed when it comes to, March and, are they off their game? Because
Right.
Steph Curry has a sprained ankle.
right.
Right. So, yeah, Hasten, you said that Boogie signing with the Warriors is bigger than the LeBron signing. I'm going to disagree with that and say this doesn't matter at all. It matters about 0% because, like we said, the Warriors are still going to win the conference, and they're still going to be unmotivated in the regular season. Boogie's not even going to play in the
Right.
regular season. I mean, he's going to be out until after at least the first of the year. And
Well,
then,
yeah, they're gonna be careful with him, I think.
Well,
Because
and,
they can
and
be.
then there's,
Yeah,
I
because they
mean,
can, because they have that luxury.
but when the time comes, there's no way that if he's healthy, Steve Kerr's not just going to throw him out there in the starting 5. Like, that's not going to happen. I mean, you've got a ball-dominant center in a team with, 4 of the best players on the planet, and all they do is pass and cut. Like, Boogie's not going to fit there. I think that this is not a great move by Golden State. I really don't, because I think that the risk is a lot higher than the potential reward, because do you really get that much better with a guy who might not be the same as before with a torn Achilles? Plus, he's ball dominant. Plus, he's a problem in the locker room.
I don't know. I don't think that you're really getting yourself into that much trouble with signing him to a 1-year deal. I mean, if it's a failed experiment, it doesn't work out, you've still got 4 All-Stars. I think it's
Right.
very low risk, very high potential reward of a situation here. And the thing about, like, DeMarcus Cousins going there, who have the Warriors traditionally struggled against? Like, if they've had a little bit of a kryptonite, it's been against teams like New Orleans last year, who've got two big guys down low that they can just throw the ball into, and they've got speed like crazy, but they don't have any size that they can go to work in the post against anybody.
Yeah.
So I think now they've got DeMarcus Cousins, and if he comes back and he's even like 3/4 as good as he was before, they don't need him all the time. They don't need him in every situation. But now
Throw him
those
out there
teams
when
who had a glimmer of hope against them before, now they're like, well, shoot, now they've got DeMarcus Cousins too. So like Houston, like what are they going to do against him? Like they could throw it down to Capella, but now they don't even have that option anymore. So like the teams who were kind of coming for the Warriors, I think that they just separated themselves even further, and it does more to demoralize other teams than
Right. It's
than
almost
anything
a
else.
psychological move.
It
Like,
really is.
I think if say Houston had made the same move, it would be a bad move. Kind of like what you were saying. Like there's a lot of risk there. High reward, but very high risk. I don't think it's that the same way with Golden State, just because they've already established themselves. They have an established locker room. They're not turning over a lot of people. They're bringing in one guy into a locker room that's already won.
Yeah, they're not
3 out
turning
of 4
over any of
titles.
their core.
Right.
Like their first 7 players
Right.
are still going to be back, and then they've also got.
Yeah, it's not like he's
DeMarcus
coming in
Cousins
and
now.
he's expected to be a leader at all. They are expecting him to kind of fall into place, I think.
But what's Boogie expecting? I think you guys are forgetting that this is DeMarcus Cousins, probably the biggest problem.
I think he
in the
signs there
NBA.
knowing that he's probably going to get a title and he's going to,
I don't know. I think
He's
not
gonna
be the storyline.
JaVale McGee it on a way bigger stage. He's going to parlay this into probably a max deal next year.
I mean, maybe.
He's betting on himself is the thing. So he's going to do everything he can because financially it's going to make a difference of millions and millions of dollars for him.
There's going to be a
he's-
wasted season.
Yeah.
And now he's going to get a title out of it.
Right. It's an investment opportunity, basically. He took a huge pay cut to go there, so hopefully it'll pay off for him here in the future, and he could wind up with more money.
But that's
than
what I'm
he had
saying. This is all adding up into what I'm saying is that when it comes February, March, and he's healthy, he's going to want the ball.
Yeah.
He's going to want the ball. You know, he's going to want the ball in the post all the time when you've got all these great players.
He's not going to want it all
Right.
the time because
I don't think he's going to want to take 25 shots. I don't-
No, I don't think so either, and I don't think he's going to have to because I think that his field goal percentage is going to be something like we've never seen it before because like he's just going to be down there, and that's what playoff basketball is. It's mostly half court, and it's mostly like just ground and pound, especially like late in games. Like that's what you want to do, and he fits that style, especially when you've got as good a ball movement as the Warriors.
I don't buy it. I think it's a lot of risk. because
Well, when
it's
they win the
DeMarcus
title
Cousins.
in a year, we'll revisit
I mean,
this.
they're
How
still
about
going to
that?
win the title, but I just think that the possibility for something going wrong way outweighs the possibility that Boogie is actually going to even help them.
He doesn't need to help them though.
That's
They're
That's what,
fine
well,
without him.
that's what I'm saying. Is that the chances of him hurting them are greater than him helping them.
Oh, I don't agree with that. I think he's at least the 3rd best center in the league, and adding that does not ever hurt.
I don't disagree with that, but I'm saying that personality in that locker room. I mean,
I'm excited to get to this later on in the over-under section.
I mean,
too.
they've already got Draymond Green,
Right.
who is like
I
a
know they've
player.
already. That's what I'm saying. They've already got Draymond Green. It's gonna go badly. At some point, this is gonna go badly.
Like, what is badly? Like, he got a technical and he got kicked out. Like, what's badly?
No, I'm saying stuff going on internal with the team because Draymond wants the ball and they're not giving him the ball because why would they? Because they've got Kevin Durant on the
Because he
team.
catches the ball, or doesn't catch the ball, whatever.
I don't know. We're
We're spiraling.
but I really think that this could be a potential problem.
We'll see how it plays
We'll
out.
see how it plays out.
Steve Kerr's pretty good at managing those personalities, so we'll see.
I agree with that.
Steve
So,
Kerr is good at managing a lot of things.
Yeah. So one thing we'll touch on real quick. We didn't really talk about it when we talked about the Lakers. What do the Lakers have to do to be able to compete with Golden State?
They can't.
You're right.
Let's
I
move
mean,
on.
I think if they added LeBron and then another LeBron and then
And then Kawhi.
and then Kawhi, yeah. I think adding Kawhi that makes them like on the same level as like Houston. I'd say, because I don't think right now they're on the same level as Houston just with LeBron, because like you compared them to last year's Cleveland team, and I personally think they would have got beat in
Oh,
5
yeah.
or 6 by Houston if
Probably.
Houston would have won. But I don't know. Add Kawhi, And then, they got JaVale McGee, so, I mean, everything else should fall into place.
JaVale. I love that it's the meme team.
Team.
That makes me so happy. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how things shake out with Kawhi. Kawhi's not going to get traded in the offseason.
I'm
Which, if
starting
the
to-
Spurs are smart, they should trade him right now because come February, the trade deadline, the pressure is going to be on San Antonio because, I mean, Kawhi, if he sits out all year, doesn't want to play, is unmotivated, it's obvious he's not going to come back to San
and he's
Antonio.
not going to have great numbers, and
Yeah.
it's going to
Well,
plummet.
I don't even know that would necessarily be the case. But the point is that teams aren't going to have to give as much for
Right.
him.
Oh, yeah.
Because San
That's
Antonio's
what's
going
gonna plummet, I
to
mean.
so they should trade him right now.
Yeah,
They
I
need-
agree.
If it'd be smart for San Antonio to try to work something out with the Lakers, and it'd be smart for the Lakers to wait. If the Lakers hold their water, they might be able to keep all those young guys for the most part and get Kawhi.
What do you think chances are he gets traded east somewhere?
I mean, about as good. I think a year from now he'll be in Los Angeles either way.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll get traded to Philadelphia or something. But even that.
But if they're not going to want to sell the farm for a guy who's probably not going to stay.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is if San Antonio's smart about this, they need to trade him right now.
To LA probably because
And all the other teams need to
they'll
just
be more
hold their
willing
water.
to. They have more to gain. LA has more to gain than other teams. I feel like.
Yeah. Hey, B stands in the house.
Yeah. I hope he likes my throwback CP3 jersey.
All right, well, let's move on. This is 4th of July weekend. We hope everybody had a great 4th of July and hope you have more fun, freedom, and fireworks.
Safe.
And safe, but mostly freedom type activities, but also safe.
Cue the
this
bald
weekend.
eagle.
Yep. Brand said it's time to party, so that's good. Yeah, cue the bald eagle. 4th of July
My
weekend.
mom is calling.
This
Sorry,
is,
that'll have to wait.
That would fit our show pretty well if you just took a call
hey,
from your
Mom,
mom
what's up?
live while we're.
I told her that we were going to be on Facebook Live if she needed to talk to me. I told her this.
Dang it, Mom. Anyway, so this is the America edition
Are
for
we
this
still-
weekend.
Oh,
I don't know.
Mom.
Does it really matter?
Oh no. Sorry guys, you're just gonna have to watch the rest on Facebook Live. If we had 1 or 2 people watching on Twitter, so that's
fine.
That's fine.
I'm
that's
not too
too bad.
worried about it. So anyway, we're doing a little segment that we like to call Starting Fives, and we're going to do U.S. President's Starting Five.
Pretty excited
So
about this.
should we do it where we all go through the ones and the twos, so we can compare that way?
I don't know. We kind of all have our extras, so let's
Yeah.
go. Let's just.
You want me to
Take
just
turns. Yeah.
start? All right, well,
Oh my gosh, I don't know. There's props.
I consulted this giant President's Fact Book that I had to buy for some class. This thing is about
That could-
800 pages
that
full
could hurt
of
a guy.
presidential facts. It could hurt a person. I mean, look how thick that thing is. So I feel pretty good about my list.
Nerd.
You're right.
From George Washington to Donald J. Trump, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm a history guy, so this was really up my alley. I'm looking forward to this. So, President starting five at the point guard, little General Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Okay.
Calm, cool, and collected. He'll get the job done. He's a likable guy. He's a leader.
I like all the political
he's not
references that are
gonna
gonna
he's
come
not
in.
gonna do anything spectacular, but he'll get the job done for you. Next at the shooting guard, the sharpshooter Teddy Roosevelt for obvious reasons.
yeah.
He's gonna make plays, but he's gonna trash talk you, but silently, and you never know. He's gonna do something spectacular every given night.
Plus that mustache.
Plus that mustache. I mean, great facial hair. Right now we're living in a league full of facial hair, and
He'd fit right in.
he'd fit right in. At the three, the small forward, we're going pre-wheelchair FDR.
I thought about making a wheelchair joke, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I will. I will make wheelchair jokes. Pre-wheelchair
Is that how
FDR.
you roll?
Okay.
Good one. Gotta
We
love-
are spiraling.
We're spiraling.
Real.
Anyway, pre-wheelchair FDR at my three. Yeah, he's just dependable. He's a hard worker. He gets the job done. And I like to think that he has a smooth jump shot. At my four, you got to go with Ronald Reagan. He whenever he gets out on the floor, it doesn't really look like he knows what he's doing, but he somehow always gets the job done.
Figures it out.
Makes big plays, even though he just looks completely awkward out there. Side note, I think this relates to what I said. Do you know that Ronald Reagan bankrupted the Soviet Union on making the United States look like they were doing a defense strategy with like lasers in space and stuff, and the Soviets thought that it was real, and Ronald Reagan thought it was real too, and then it bankrupted the Soviet Union, and then it fell. Like, that's why the Soviet Union fell, because Ronald Reagan was just blowing smoke.
He bluffed his way into.
So that's what I'm
world
saying.
politics.
Like, that's the kind of basketball player. Like, he's very unassuming, but then he just makes it happen, even though he looks like he has no idea what he's doing.
Was that in your
the whole
facts
time.
book?
No, I learned that in that class that I
Okay,
had for the fact
cool,
book.
cool.
So, yeah, kind of the same thing. At my center, the big man, Honest
call
Abe Lincoln. Honest Abe Lincoln, he's the man. Everybody knows it. He's tall, he's lanky, and he's good at
Right,
keeping
right.
teams together.
Yeah.
You know, he's that anchor.
Getting the team
he's
together.
the anchor that keeps everything together. So you gotta love that.
You know, when
about him.
things start to fall apart,
He keeps it together. My sixth man, the most underrated president of all time, James K. Polk. Do you guys realize how many awesome things James K. Polk
No,
did?
I don't.
I won't get into it, but he did
Honestly,
a lot.
I don't even know what
Polk.
century he was.
He was like
I don't even know what century he
like
was the
1820s.
Okay.
I don't know. I need to look at my president's fact book to double check that with you.
I would have assumed 1800s.
Yeah, James K. Polk, he's the man. He's the best player that nobody realizes is really, really good. So he's my
So
sixth
kind of
man.
like Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, but no.
But does he shoot people in the leg in the locker room?
Nobody did start the Mexican-American War. Anyway,
It's the same thing.
it is the same thing. Two other bench players. I've got William Howard Taft, just
Of
the
course.
big man coming
Yeah.
in to spell Abe Lincoln.
Wasn't
He's
that
not
the guy who died in the bathtub?
No, he had the fat bathtub,
the
but
fat bathtub. That's
Yeah.
right.
I don't think anybody died in their bathtub.
Maybe that wasn't. Yeah.
I mean, he got stuck in his bathroom.
that was what it was.
He didn't
yeah,
die
okay.
in there.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so
That's how I always wanted to go.
yeah, he's coming in to
That's how I
spell.
planned to go, actually.
Become so morbidly obese that I die in my bathtub.
William Howard Taft, he's coming in to spell Lincoln. He can't play for very long because he's short and
Right,
fat, but
right.
he's not going to get pushed around because he's just ginormous. And also coming off the bench, I've got our most recent former president, Barack Obama, just
Uh-huh.
because, you know, he's the only president I know of that was actually interested in the game. You know, he
Yeah.
played on a regular basis even as president. I respect that a lot.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, his knowledge is going to be high. His basketball IQ is
Right.
going to be high. He's got some highs and some lows. You never really know what you're going to
Oh
get
my God.
from day to day.
I love
but,
the political commentary.
you know, you got to love it. The coach, we've got wheelchair FDR, just because he's a good leader.
So is this a player-coach situation? Is he transitioning from coach or
No,
player
these
to
are
coach?
two separate. These
Okay.
are two separate entities. I know that's maybe cheating, but yeah, pre-wheelchair FDR is my small forward, and wheelchair FDR is my coach. Just because FDR was the man, you know, he's
Right.
a great leader. He's going to be able to, you know, get your team out of tough times and you know keep the team together in the toughest of times. And the general manager, the one that started it all, George Washington. You know, he's the guy you want leading your franchise. So
Right.
Everybody wants him to lead the franchise.
All right, so is it my turn to build a team?
Yeah, it's your turn to build a team.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm starting out with the point guard. You kind of touched on it. Barack Obama at the one.
Right.
I think he's a pretty good fit at the one. He's 6'1", so he's the right size for today's NBA kind of. Like
Yeah.
he might be on the short side, but
High IQ.
he can shoot the ball. He showed that on the different March Madness specials.
Right.
They would shoot some baskets.
That's true.
So same shooting guard as you, Teddy Roosevelt.
Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter. Yeah.
Yikes.
Carry a big stick, right?
Right. I forgot to mention that one. Dang it.
You talked long enough.
Yeah,
about
it was
this
fine.
point.
It was fine. At the small forward, I'm going with T.J. Thomas Jefferson. Did you guys know he was 6'2.5"?
I don't think that's real.
According to the internet that I looked at. Oh my god.
Go ahead.
I'm
Keep
getting
talking.
fact checked on there, but according to this internet that I looked at, he was 6'2.5".
Didn't he? Oh, that's
Stop.
He was number 3, but whatever. Number 3, just third president, third on the roster.
Nice.
Yeah. But no, he was a real athletic, real smart guy. I want him scoring the ball for me. 4, I've got Abe Lincoln. He was skinnier, so I think he'll be kind of a stretch 4.
Right.
I think he'll be able to move and be a nice addition to the team. Now, at the center, I've got 2 different guys. I went with the Taft like you, but instead of having a 6th man, I decided to rotate my centers just because they're both so fat that they won't be able to play the back-to-backs. So I'm just going to have one sit and then one play and then just switch, kind of like you do catchers for a doubleheader. So I've got Taft at the 5, but on the second night, I've got Grover Cleveland because he's just, he doesn't take no for an answer, and sometimes he's really persistent, and he's just going to go for it.
I thought about throwing Grover Cleveland in mine, but I couldn't find a spot for him.
Yeah, he's right there. So for coach, I got 2 head coaches. It's unconventional, but I think they'll make it work because one of them is definitely a great coach, and one of them is more of a sports. What's that?
I just want to interject. Is it like a Luke Walton, Steve Kerr situation, or do we truly have 2 head coaches?
I think we got a motivation coach, so maybe a Steve Kerr.
All right.
And that's Dwight Eisenhower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's there coaching me, but he's a general, like you said. He's there to rally the troops, to get him going, ready to run through a wall for him. And then I got Gerald Ford, who played football at Michigan, so he at least knows some sports. And I wanted to have him in there. I thought about having him in there at the 3 and just going real big, but then I just decided I had to have Taft in there.
Yeah.
So,
Taft's important.
so I went a little less big, but whatever. So that's what I got. I got Obama, Teddy, Thomas, Abe, Taft, Cleveland, and then Eichen Ford. You got it.
Okay, so here at the point guard, I had Abraham Lincoln because.
I like that. I thought about that.
Right, yeah. He's tall, he's lanky, he's not someone you would think.
He's kind of like the 8th grader that's 6'3".
Right, yeah, you wouldn't think that he's a point guard, but I mean, look at Giannis for Milwaukee bringing the ball up this year. I mean, it works when you're 6'11". I don't think Abraham Lincoln was 6'11", but he was
Abe
tall.
Lincoln was probably gay.
Chandler?
Okay.
This is enough out of you and your weird presidential stuff.
Did he check the Thomas Jefferson?
Yeah, it didn't have heights because it's
Okay.
not it's not ESPN.com. I was disappointed with that. He did die on the 4th of July though.
Oh, well. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
So that means so did another president that died the same
John
day.
Adams.
John Adams, yeah.
All right. Can I go here?
Yeah,
please?
sorry. I didn't mean to
All right.
interrupt. I'll stop
So
talking.
Abraham Lincoln, I also thought he's got a great battle plan because Michael Scott says on The Office that he attacks people with the North. So if he's attacking people with the North, I mean, that's something you're going to want to watch out for. I had General George Washington at my shooting guard. I just thought he's your fearless kind of, he's just got a great all-around game.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know anything to base that on, but I'm sure that
Right.
he does.
The general.
Harry S. Truman, he's my power forward. He's not afraid
Really?
to drop a nuke when he
natural
needs to
fit.
do it. Yeah.
Nice one.
Teddy Roosevelt, he was my other shooting guard. Here's the thing
So,
about Teddy.
unanimous.
Right.
Yeah,
Unanimous
we all
shooting
three
guard.
had Teddy Roosevelt. Like you guys mentioned, he's a sharpshooter. We know that from history. Also, he's a guy who takes his training very seriously. He used to wrestle for exercise with just some guy that he just paid to like come in and hang out in the White House, and when he would get tired in meetings, he would just like get up, walk out the door.
Now
go-
that would do some good
go
negotiations.
wrestle. Right, just go wrestle this guy in some room for a long time, then he'd come back in. He would also just like disappear for like months at a time, like, and just go out to the wilderness and just do stuff out in the wilderness. I pretty much picture him being like Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. I think they're the same person, like
Yeah,
reincarnated.
kind of.
Anti-government, you know.
At my center, I had John Jasinski, Northwest Missouri State University president. He's just a great facilitator. You know, that's something
I respect that.
in the modern NBA that you really want. He's undersized for sure,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he is feisty. He's he takes
whipped.
his physical conditioning very seriously. I've seen him running through campus at like 4 a.m. before jogging with his dog, and that's in today's modern
Why
NBA.
were you up at 4 a.m.?
Don't worry about that.
Were you running with him?
No,
Were you like his
absolutely
Secret
not.
Service, like in House of Cards?
Okay, it wasn't quite 4 a.m. It was a little bit later than that, and we were setting up for
Okay, it was
something
3
in his house.
p.m., but whatever.
Anyway, I'm continuing here. In today's modern NBA, you really want your 5 to be somebody who can facilitate and distribute. That's definitely him. My 6th man, it's got to be Woodrow Wilson.
Cousin Woody.
Yeah, Cousin Woody, just because he's in the fam, so you got to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
And then for coach, I had Greg Popovich because, you know, he really knows how to manage a team.
Well, yeah, you're right.
All right, folks. That was President's starting 5.
Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, comment with
Yeah, we'd love to see yours.
with who you're starting
Hey,
5
Mom,
is.
you tried
Hey,
to call a
Joanne,
second ago. Sorry I
Joanne's
didn't
in the
answer. I was
house.
busy.
All right. Oh yeah. Sorry, gotta toss my paper too. Guys, this week's been garbage. That was a pretty good one though.
Yeah, it was. Oh,
Um,
that was very Tony Kornheiser-esque. No, Tony Reali.
Yeah, there's too many ESPN
Yeah.
Tonys.
That's why we're taking them down.
Hashtag take down ESPN. All right, let's hit some over-unders real quick and wrap up the show here. Pretty short show this week, really.
I think it'll probably
It'll round
take
out.
its time.
It'll round out. So obviously we're talking about Golden State earlier and what they're going to do next year. So Golden State wins next year. Their regular season win total next year. The line's 63.5. What do you guys think?
So they won 58 this year. We looked at it before the
Yeah.
show. I think I'm going to take the under just because they have nothing at all to prove.
No.
Absolutely nothing. They are solely playing for how many titles can they win. It's kind of like a game that they're playing with everybody else.
Right.
How many titles can they win before they get old?
Yeah, pretty much. And if there's even a hint that one of them has any kind of soreness
Right.
or any kind of little hangnail or any kind of injury, there is no pressure because they will probably still win the game.
They
They're
could be
gonna
the
sit 'em
7th
out.
seed in the West and
Yeah,
easy.
no, seriously, you're exactly right, and that would not bother them at all.
No.
I don't think they just don't. Why would they worry about it? I do think that they're going to get close to that win total though, just
Yeah.
because they're
They're so
so good that even their like I don't know, C- effort is still better than most
Yeah.
teams' best night. So.
Yeah. So you guys are both taking the under
Yeah.
then?
Yeah, I'm
need to
taking
get
the
it
under
straight. I'm
just
just
because they don't
paying
need
attention
to.
to this.
But how many could they win? Like, I think that they could definitely surpass that easily. if
73. Do you
that
think
was
they
their
could get that
goal.
73?
That's what I was going to ask. Do you guys think that some year that they're just going to be – I mean, it about have to be this year because I bet next year Klay Thompson's gone. But I bet do you think they'll ever just say, screw it, we're going to win 74 games this year, and then they just do it and then win the
I don't think
finals?
so,
No,
but
I don't think so.
they could if they
I
wanted
think
to.
they could if they wanted to. I'll also take the unders. I don't think they're going to win 64 games just because they don't feel like it.
Right.
But then they'll still win the finals. It's not even
How many losses do you think they'll have in the playoffs this year? 4 rounds.
That's a good
How
question.
many did they have this year? Like 3?
Well, they lost 3 in the.
Oh yeah, they lost 3 in the Houston series. So
I don't know if they lost any others. So
4
did
or
they?
5. Yeah, I think they had 5 maybe.
I don't know. I'm going to say
I bet they lose less than that next year.
Yeah,
I bet
I-
they don't have a 7-game series.
I bet they have.
I don't think they have a 7 game. I don't know. I'm going to say they lose 6 games.
6 games over
Playoff.
4 rounds. I see that.
Maybe 7. I don't know.
That might be next week's. Comment with your however many you think.
Yeah. All right. Next over under, sticking with the Warriors here. Fights between Draymond and Boogie in the locker room, like physical fights in the locker room next year. Over the entire season, so regular season, playoffs, physical fights in the locker room between Draymond and Boogie.
Like them fighting with
where's the
against
line?
each other.
against each other.
Where's the line?
1.5.
I don't think that they're going
Under.
to get in a fight. Yeah.
I could see 1.
DeMarcus
last time
Cousins
they-
is not going to play for half the year probably.
The last time they played each other, Boogie was trying to get into the Warriors locker room
Well-
and fight KD.
Well, you know that when they were building this, when they were talking about, hey, let's maybe sign DeMarcus, they had to say, hey, are you guys cool with this? And they had to say, yeah. Because they're not just gonna sign him off the street and be like, oh hey Draymond, you saw it on ESPN, but we signed DeMarcus. Hope that's cool. They're not just gonna pull that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I don't know. I'm gonna take the over because I love NBA pettiness and fights.
Winning fixes everything,
That's
and they
exactly
are
it.
going to be winning a lot.
This is true.
So I don't think this is going to be a problem.
I'd love to see it though. I would not be upset if that happened.
As a fan of NBA
Plus,
pettiness,
Draymond could
yeah.
always use a punch in the mouth.
as a
True.
fan of NBA pettiness, I'm taking the over, and I'm sticking with it.
You're just hoping that it happens.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it happens for sure. Let's talk about the Royals. They're terrible.
Baseball, yeah,
Well,
they
I
are.
s- okay,
They've won 4 games since the start of June.
So
That's rough. That's rough.
That is a lot of
that's
games.
so bad. I didn't even realize it. So Sam Mellinger.
And somehow I'm still watching.
Just let that sink in.
Oh my God.
It is July 5th, and they've won 4 games since the start of June.
Oh wow. Sam Mellinger tweeted something that said the Mariners, I think, are on pace to have the
Yeah.
or they're in the second.
Yeah, they're in the
Second
second wild
wildcard
card with
spot, and
101 wins,
they're
which
on-
is, first of all, is nuts.
They're on pace to win 102 games. If the Royals win out, they'll win 101.
Right. They've lost 61 games already.
So if the Royals win out, they might not even make the playoffs.
Right. It's
Uh,
nuts. It's mid-July. They're just past the halfway point,
I
and
wonder-
they've already lost 61 games.
I wonder what the earliest a team's been eliminated from playoff contention.
Somebody actually asked that, and Sam Mellinger saw the same tweet. Wow, this feels really weird referencing somebody else's tweet online, but yeah,
But John just pours over tons and tons of tweets about the Royals every single day. So
I mean, I've been trying to cut back on that a little
this
bit.
is your existence.
It's easier to not read it when they're just so horribly bad.
right.
But yeah, I
There's
mean,
just
I do,
something
I do.
inside of you that just
I really
can't
gotta
change.
know what is going on in Wilmington for their high A ball. So
Keep an eye on those guys.
All right, so the question is, seasons before the Royals make the playoffs again, the line is 6.5.
6.5. So that puts us at 2024. So here's my thinking.
Here we go.
I'm going to say under because
Whoa.
no, my train of thought on this is the next wave is going to be up in the next probably 2.5 years. They're either going to be good and have made the playoffs by then, or they're not going to be good and they'll have tried be moving the next wave in already. Like it's either going to happen or in the next 4. I'd say 2023. I would say is a realistic that's like 2014 kind of like they're either in contention and trying to make the playoffs or they're winning 83 games and you know that their ceiling for this team is average.
This is reminding me of Infinity War where Doctor Strange says we're in the end game now.
I mean, in all honesty, like Khalil Lee, Sully Matthias, like Brady Singer,
These are not
Jackson
real people.
Cower.
These
people are going to
real.
come up and they're either going to be winning 83 games or they're going to be winning 97 games. Like there's not really going to be an in between in my mind.
He does this with no notes too, by the way. This is just off the top of his nose.
I didn't even mention MJ Melendez or
Oh
Nick
my
Prado.
All right, you're cut off. You're getting the mute button too for a while. Hasten, what do
So,
you think?
John, here's the question. You might have even said this guy's name. What do you think of that kid that they signed from Florida?
Which one, Braxton or Brady Singer or Jackson Cower? They were
Brady Singer, yeah.
They signed him for about I
It's
think
like
like
$4
$1 million over his draft slot.
Yeah.
He fell down to 18, which was great. They could have had him, or like they were projecting him to go top 5 maybe, or at least top 10.
He was dominant in the college
So
World
I mean, he
Series.
fell down to them, and I'm excited about him. And then his teammate Cower, I mean, he looks fierce too. So I'm excited for those two.
Good
All
deal.
right.
I don't think either one of them are going to pitch this year just because they've had such high workloads already. I think they're
Right.
kind of just going to let them take the
Right.
rest of the year off. But come next year, they could be in Double-A maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Hasten, you got the over under 6.5 seasons for the Royals.
Well,
in the
let's see.
postseason.
Last time it was 30 years, almost 28 years.
It was
29.
29 years.
Postseason.
So
Broke my heart a little bit to say that.
I'm gonna say over by about 17 years. I will be dead before they make the playoffs. No, not quite. I'll be nearly dead.
20. Okay. All right.
Wow.
At age 53.
35.
8:53.
I plan on not taking care of my body at all.
You're already not taking care of that old body there, champ. I'm gonna
CP3 doesn't seem to mind.
I'm gonna take the over. But I give it about. I bet they will within a decade. They'll be back in the postseason.
I hope so. I need that in my life.
Yikes. This is getting sad.
What else do I have, right?
So let's you know what you do have? You have the Iowa Barnstormers playing in the United Bowl. For those of you that don't know, the Iowa Barnstormers are an Arena League football team, actually an indoor football league team.
Right, there's a difference.
Out of Des Moines, Iowa, and they're playing in the United Bowl, which is the Super Bowl of indoor football.
They
And
made it, baby.
There's
They
6
made it.
teams in the league.
Yeah.
I think there might be 8.
8. Okay, there's 6 or 8 teams in the league.
But anyway,
so I mean,
the Barnstormers are in it for the first time since the 90s. When
Yeah.
who was their quarterback?
Oh, Kurt Warner.
Kurt G. Warner. I don't know if that's his middle initial.
that means that whoever their quarterback is now is probably going to be an NFL Hall of Famer, right?
Drew Powell.
Drew Powell. That's right.
Out of where is he out of? Furman, I think.
Believe so.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
We're big Barnstormers fans now because
we went to one game.
we went to
so-
one game earlier this summer.
Bachelor party.
So we're big fans of the Barnstormers now.
Big enough that we're not even going to go to the Super Bowl when
Yeah.
the tickets are $14, but whatever.
Right.
Well, we got other stuff to
We
do.
got other stuff going on.
I'm going to a Royals game, so.
Oh, you and 14 of your closest friends. There'll be more at their double A than
I sure hope so.
Anyway, so as you guys know, and I'm sure all of our dedicated indoor football league viewers.
Hey Blake, what's up?
Hey, Blake Shiflett in the house now. It's a high-scoring game. We're looking at a line for this game. Total points 99.5. What do you guys think? Over under?
I'm pumped for this. So what was the score of the last game we went to? I say that like we've been to more than one. The game we went to, it was like
I don't even
it was 40 something.
It
or
was
maybe
less
low.
than
right.
Yeah, it was less.
They're
than
playing-
that.
Des Moines got a pretty solid defense.
They're
You gotta
playing-
keep that in mind.
Bryce
Inyard,
he got
baby.
hurt though, I think.
Oh yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, but
R.I.P.
he.
Hey,
it's not-
get back out there, Bryce. We're rooting for you.
Anyhow, I will say I think I'm going to take the over because the game started off, the one that we watched, and it was really high scoring until like the third quarter, and then there was a huge lull where like neither team could get anything going. But I'd say that that's atypical.
Right.
Like I don't think that the defense usually holds as well as it does for both teams there. So I'm gonna take the over. I just from like highlights that I've seen on ESPN over the years of people making insane one-handed
Oh my
grabs.
gosh, I hope there's something.
The games are usually higher scoring, so I think on average I'll take the over. I'll be interested actually to see what the score winds up being.
I'd
though.
love to see a nice 60 to 58 game.
Triple overtime.
Yeah.
So I'll admit I did a little bit of research, not a lot, and not
Nerd.
even really about this. I was just kind of curious about the history of my beloved indoor football league, and it turns out, the team they're playing, Sioux Falls. It says Barnstormers by 90.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Dane.
comment.
The team they're playing, Sioux Falls. I don't even remember what their mascot is. They've been
Skyforce? No, that's the D-League team. D-League team.
They've been to like the last 10 United Bowls and won like 8 of them. So
man. They're a dynasty.
the Barnstormers are up against a dynasty. Sioux Falls lost last year to I
they're
think
motivated.
the Arizona Rattlers, so they're motivated.
Well, that's who we saw the Barnstormers beat.
Right.
So.
But I like the Barnstormers in this one. I'm gonna go over though. I think we're looking at maybe 110 total points.
Stir up the storm. That's a Storm Chaser saying AAA Royals.
Oh,
but,
that doesn't even relate. Dang it, John. Anyway.
Quit bringing the Royals into this.
Yeah, they're just so bad. Why would you even subject us to that?
Sorry.
Anyway, Barnstormers by 90. Go Barnstormers. We're looking forward to that game that we're not going to watch because we're too lazy to go.
It's really exciting.
But it should be fun.
Yeah.
Guys, got anything else?
I don't think so.
We'll do a quick Q&A for all of our listeners if there's any comments out
If
there.
you guys can get a question in the next couple seconds, we'll answer it for you. Maybe.
Is this awkward? I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's gonna be
somebody's.
awkward. We can. How about we do our shout outs, and then if there's any questions by the end.
Yeah, we'll do our shout outs. Who wants to go first?
James Hooten just joined. If you just joined, ask us a question. We'll answer it here in about a couple minutes.
Yeah.
You can get our take.
Get
Also,
our hot take on anything in the world of sports.
Or not sports.
Or not sports, true.
just life. Get
Yeah.
life advice.
Right. If you got some stuff going on, you know.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Shout outs
here.
anyway.
Yeah, I'll start with shout-outs. My shout-out's going out to my boy Dane Messer. He is watching this right now. He commented, and we work together on the daily, and we're about to go pull a night shift at a haunted school, so it should be fun. Looking forward to it. That's my shout-out.
My shout out goes to James Hooten because he doesn't give a hootin'. That's all I have to say.
All
Glad
right.
he's here.
I'm going to give my shout out to Blake Shiflett because I saw that he just liked a comment, so he's probably also watching. So way to
Nice.
go, Blake. Thanks
Man.
for watching. And our other 2 viewers. That
Yeah, if pretty much if you're
watching.
watching this,
Comment and we'll give you a
shout
shout out. How about that?
yeah, and
And ask us that question. No.
anybody got anything? Man,
They just
Does
want us
our
to
live
get
studio
awkward.
audience have any questions? Katie.
Nope.
No.
Katie said no. All right.
Okay, cool.
Well, everybody
This was
thinks
fun, guys.
It was fun. We'll have to do this again, never.
I don't know.
No, we might do it again.
Maybe
Anyway,
from a different remote location.
right. Yeah. So everybody have a very happy, safe, and fun 4th of July, and we'll see you next time on the crossover.
Later.